All right, Jotham. So you know how I talked about my interesting Michigan State Great Lakes Invitational story however many episodes ago, right?
Yeah, that was that hockey one, right?
Yeah, the
One of the
hockey
hockey.
one at Comerica Park, Michigan State, Michigan. Pretty cool time. Well, that was not my first Michigan State hockey game.
Oh, really?
No, I even before that story time was from 7 years ago. This story time right here, I'm taking you back 8 years, going back to 2012, 2013.
Oh, doing a one up, huh?
Yeah, I am. And hey, this one may be tough to remember, but it is as exciting as the last one.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
All right, so I guess we can start this on Christmas Day almost. Actually, we're 12 days away from that, so why not? Um, this was when you could actually, go to games and enjoy, experiences with fans, right? So, so obviously, big Michigan State guy. Entire family went to Michigan State, so go green, right? Um, so I went I before 2012. I can't remember if I had went there for a game before. So my mom, she got me Michigan State basketball and hockey tickets for the I think weekend of January 12th. And this is an interesting story because a lot of a few different things happened. Um, so yeah, I got tickets for Michigan State basketball against Nebraska, and then tickets for Michigan State hockey against Notre Dame, who was actually ranked number 2 in the country at the time. So two decent games, of course. That's what I also got an entire Michigan State like kid uniform, shorts and all too. It was like a basketball jersey. It was number 23, Draymond Green.
Green.
Obviously, because college sports and the NCAA don't like teams, making money. So there isn't any name on it, and it's just number 23, which is pretty cool. Still have it in there. Obviously, it's like a kid size, extra small, right? It's 8 years ago, so pretty cool. And this is funny because around obviously December, January, it snows, especially up north in Michigan, and I I don't know why, but I decided to wear my basketball jersey and shorts in snow around campus. So I don't know why, dude. I was trying to look the part. I was going to Michigan State games wearing my gear. Where I dressed up for I dressed up for the occasion.
Hey, you was decking yourself, huh?
Yeah, 100%. I got the jersey. I got the shorts. I was coming fitted up.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
I obviously would not do that now, but we stayed at the hotel for the entire weekend, and from the hotel, walked around campus, and then eventually we walked to the Michigan State hockey game. The Michigan State hockey game, as I mentioned before, it was a pretty big game. Michigan State wasn't the greatest hockey team at the time, but they were playing a pretty good team in number 2 ranked in the entire country, Notre Dame. And I think this was the second meeting for Michigan State and Notre Dame in 2 days.
Dang. Jeez.
Yeah, so apparently they played each other a lot. But this one was very interesting because the game before, Notre Dame actually beat Michigan State 1-0, so it was pretty close. And at the time, Michigan State was 5-13-2, right?
Oh,
So
geez. Okay. So this was not that good of a
no,
team.
Michigan State has not been good since they won the Frozen Four of I think in like 2008 or something. But they had a good player. They had a good player in Justin Ablocator on that Michigan State team, who eventually went on to the Detroit Red Wings and played a pretty good career with Detroit. So Michigan State, they've had a few really good players go to the NHL this year. 2012-2013 season, they were not great. Obviously, they were 5-13-2 up against a 15-5-0 Notre Dame team. So they didn't even let teams take them to overtime. They didn't even you were either going to beat them or they were going to blow you out, and it was a good game because it had a very good potential upset. As you like to say, upset alert. 100% it did. And yeah, that's basically what happened. We walked to the arena. We walked around I believe it's called Mun Arena, and it's pretty cool. Really, really, really nice place. It's basically it's small. I saw Sparty, the mascot, a few times. Cool guy.
Does he wear anything other than that armor? Have you ever seen him outside of that?
He might have had a jersey on. I'm not quite sure, but usually it's just the mascot suit as you normally see him in. I think so. I mean, yeah, I might have seen him in other outfits. I'm not quite sure. It was funny because my sister is like deadly terrified of mascots, so every time Sparty got close, she would like freak out.
So freaky about a mascot. I never understood.
I don't know. I guess it's kind of like creepy because I guess little kids are like so used to just seeing normal human beings, and I guess it's almost like seeing a monster. If you think about it, because like you've never seen anyone other than like a human being, and then you see this big guy in like a suit.
Yeah, the statue head, and
yeah,
just no facial expression.
Yeah, just bro, you gotta add the muscles for Sparty. Dude's ripped.
Yeah, I don't know. The dude is pretty active in the world of college.
He is. Like I said, best mascot in college sports easily, maybe even professional as well. Sparty, GOAT. Nonetheless, yeah, cool arena. I remember the game was actually quite crazy, and like I said, Notre Dame number 2, Michigan State not great. And I'm not going to go into detail what happened because, frankly, I don't remember every single detail of that game. I know there were a few. I think there was almost like a full. Maybe it was at the end of the game, but there was like a full ice shot. Like Michigan State scored in all the way from their end of the arena all the way into the other. So it's probably an empty net. I can't really remember. I know something crazy like that happened, but nonetheless, Michigan State was able to come out on top and beat Notre Dame 4-1. Number 2, Notre Dame lost to Michigan State 4-1, and a pretty exciting game. I do remember, if you want to watch the highlights, it's from like January 12th, 2013. So pretty interesting, pretty good game. I mean, Michigan State got the upset. They got the upset over number 2 Notre Dame, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so that was the hockey game. Pretty exciting. Again, very, very exciting. So, I believe that was probably a Saturday. It was a Saturday, and I believe I was probably still on winter break. So Saturday, went back to the hotel, slept. Again, Sunday, woke up, walked around campus as usual, and then we actually went to a Michigan State basketball game against Nebraska. And this was an interesting game because I was looking at the box score because I couldn't remember who played for Michigan State, who played for Nebraska. But at the time, Michigan State was ranked number 22 in the country, which is kind of surprising to see Michigan State that low.
Low?
Yeah.
Low?
22. Yeah.
You got high expectations.
I do. I know. Michigan State, they if you guys listen to the trivia from Sunday, I answered the question to North Carolina, how they had the most Sweet 16 appearances. Well, under Michigan State and Tom Izzo, the Spartans have gone to the most Final Fours in the past 20 years. So that's pretty cool as well. So I should have the right to have high expectations. Under Tom Izzo, any team under Tom Izzo, no matter who's playing, they should be good. They should at least be in the top 15, very least.
Touche.
Yeah. Nonetheless, I mean, I was just surprised. I was like 22, and then I looked at their conference record. They were 3-1. Can't remember who they lost to, but they were 14-3 in total. So 22. I feel like it's kind of low. I mean, 3 losses, I suppose. But hey, it was from what I see is pretty exciting game. I don't know how, but I can't remember much of the game at all. Michigan State won 66-56, so beat them by 10. But I remember a lot of these players, and Michigan State had a lot of good players that went on to have very successful careers. I mean, Brandon Dawson, he went on to play with the Clippers, had a few games, very successful. He dropped 12, so he was a really good college player. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was the year before they went to the Final Four against Duke and obviously lost to, I think, Jahlil Okafor in their team or whatnot. Nonetheless, very exciting game. Brendan Dawson, again, great Michigan State player. They also had my guy Denzel Valentine, my guy. I know everyone says he should be better on the Bulls, but I think you should just give him time. I think you should give him time because he has been pretty hurt these past 2 years. I think this year, call it right now, he's going to have a very, very good year, and he's going to play a huge part of that Chicago Bulls rotation.
4.6 points per game.
Don't worry, they extended him for a reason.
No, I'll just play. He's not averaging 4.6. I was just saying a random number. But yeah, I mean, I would like to see him get back on track because I like Michigan State players that can, because they're so good in college. When Michigan State has a star, I just feel like they can really do well in the NBA in some role, in some way, shape, or form. They can do well in the NBA.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because Michigan State, obviously, they're not a blue blood. Some do consider them a blue blood. Obviously, they're not a Kansas, a Duke, Kentucky, whatnot. But they are definitely, I would consider them definitely top 7 in the entire college basketball as far as historic teams, easily.
On the doorstep.
Yeah. And I don't know. They have, if you think about it, I would consider one of the most historic NBA players of all time who went to Michigan State and Magic Johnson. Obviously, Draymond Green has multiple championships with Golden State. Very successful player. Miles Bridges won the Rising Star MVP last year. Obviously participated in the dunk contest. I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr., another star for the Memphis Grizzlies. Obviously, Cassius Winston and Xavier Tillman both got drafted this year. So things are looking up. Hey, dude, I could go on for days. Bryn Forbes for the Bucks got a nice contract with them. I'm not sure the role he's going to play with the Bucks, but he did play very successful with the Spurs. Nonetheless, I'm hoping Valentine gets back there because if you guys watched his last season at Michigan State, I think he very well could have won the Wooden Award. Very well. He was fantastic. Of course, he had to lose to, I'm not even going to say their name. I hate Middle Tennessee. I hate Middle Tennessee for that reason. Not a fan of Middle Tennessee, but I hope Denzel Valentine has a very, very good year this year. I'm really, really rooting for him. But it's funny. I'm guessing he was probably a sophomore or a freshman, but he only dropped 3 points the entire game against Nebraska. Obviously, Gary Harris. He played for Michigan State at the time. I think he was a one and done at Michigan State, so I was able to see him play once. I don't remember, but yeah, he was in that game. He had 9 points, and Keith Appling, who is also a very good Michigan State player. Nonetheless, it was an overall good game because at the end of the first half, it was tied 32-32. Michigan State pulled away and won by 10 in at the end of the game. So 66-56 final, Michigan State, Nebraska. Pretty interesting game. A lot of good players, historic players. I mean, not historic player, but really, really good players in Michigan State's franchise. Another cool thing is that there is also a Buffalo Wild Wings on Michigan State's campus. So after that basketball game, keep in mind, this was on a Sunday in January 13th. Who won the Super Bowl in 2013?
The Baltimore Ravens.
Sure did. And what we did after the game, we walked to Buffalo Wild Wings on the campus. And I don't know how I remembered this, but I remember sitting down and watching Peyton Manning, Joe Flacco go crazy. Go absolutely crazy. Because that game, do you remember how insane that was?
Drew, that was probably the first playoff game I had ever watched. I was at my grandmother's house when I saw the ending.
Classic game, classic. I mean, there, I can't even explain. Trindon Holiday, he had a 90-yard punt return and then a 104-yard kickoff return. Dude was going off. That's what I remember. I remember walking into that Buffalo Wild Wings and watching these crazy returns.
Yeah, dude, Trenton Holiday was definitely like that. I remember watching him when I was younger. That dude was a game breaker.
Dude, yeah, and Jacoby Jones for the Ravens, he had a fantastic playoff. I mean, even in that Super Bowl, he has a classic return in that Super Bowl. That year against the 49ers. But nonetheless, it was a very, very fantastic game. I remember walking to the Buffalo Wild Wings, sitting down and watching that game because it was fantastic. Obviously, it went into overtime, and the Ravens were able to pull away, but that was just a historic game that I remember watching. So much fun. I was a big Broncos fan at the time. Obviously, lived in Denver for a few years. Not that year specifically, but when I was younger. Nonetheless, I thought that was very interesting. How I just remember walking into the Buffalo Wild Wings and watching the Baltimore Ravens and the Denver Broncos battle it out in the divisional round.
Who were you with? Were you with a family, right?
Yeah, I was with my mom, my stepdad, and my sister, and we went to Buffalo Wild Wings to watch the game.
Oh man, yeah, I gotta find a way to do something like that one day because that sounds pretty fun.
Bro, yeah, it was definitely very fun, and bro, Buffalo Wild Wings, I could that's some good food
Roar.
there. That's some good food there.
Yeah.
It was. I remember watching the beginning of the game, probably up to halftime, then watching the remainder in the hotel. But really, that's basically my story. It was my Michigan my weekend at Michigan State. Went to the hockey game, went to the basketball game, saw some really good Michigan State players, and then walked over on campus to Buffalo Wild Wings and finished by watching the Broncos and the Ravens battle it out.
That was your Wamsu weekend at MSU.
Yes.
Or the Weamsu, if you want to capitalize the E and we. Okay, I'm off the acronym game. But yeah, that sounded like another. I mean, this one was unique in my opinion because it's like you did all that in the span of 2 days.
Yeah. I feel like that's also pretty easy to do, especially on campus as well. If you go to any college campus, I mean, you could probably find out what games are playing and head over to one of the games or multiple of the games. I mean, Michigan State, they played Michigan State basketball and football played at home on the same day earlier this season for the first time since 2001, which was mind blowing to me. So it's crazy. I mean, a lot of cool things to do when you're on a college campus for sure.
Why are you on the campus so much?
I don't know. I mean, both of my parents went there, so I guess they enjoy going back. There's also some good ice cream spots on there as well. Some good, very very good ice cream. I think they call it the dairy store, and so we always have to go back for ice cream. And there's like bookstores, which are basically obviously they sell books where kids get their books at, but there's also like merchandise where like clothes and other really unique stuff. I mean, I remember walking into one of the bookstores and the floor was actually used to be the floor at the basketball stadium. Like they took like the old flooring off and gave it to the bookstore, which is really cool. Michigan State University, very 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 cool place. Very very beautiful too.
I might have to go to that ice cream joint if I ever call a game at the Breast.
yeah. Let me know. I'll tell you where it's at.
Yeah, please. Yeah, just please help me. I'll be my student ambassador or something.
And the cool thing, well, I'm going off on a tangent as I usually do, but the cool thing about the ice cream is at the dairy store is that each flavor is represented by a Big Ten team.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's really cool. Obviously, mint chocolate chip could be Michigan State. Maybe like cookie dough could be like, or they call it like the Boilermaker, and it's Purdue because it has like the colors. So it's really cool. Very unique. It's awesome. It really is.
Sports related food.
Bro, that's your type of thing, huh? That's your thing.
That's very interesting. Gobbling up could Strawberry be Ohio State or Rutgers
It
or
could be.
Maryland?
Maybe Wisconsin. Who knows?
I don't. Why are there so many red teams?
There are.
Geez, there's only 2 blue teams in the. Oh well, Illinois is more orange.
Yeah,
But yeah, you that's amazing. I might have to look that up.
definitely.
I might have to look that up. That sounds fun. But yeah, that was your weekend at MSU, huh?
Yeah, it was.
I think my next story time might be a little bit uncharacteristic and might catch you off guard a little bit. So yeah, be on your toes for that.
Oh, you're smiling, dude. I'm anxious. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, gotta wait till the next week though, because it's yeah, you're probably gonna be cracking up over this.
Oh no, I'm ready.
Oh yeah. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed Andrew's weekend at MSU and you love these storytime specials, we do this every week. Like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Give us a 5-star rating if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or whatever streaming device you're listening to the Top of the Standings on. And of course, follow us on our social medias, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, the trifecta of social medias. And obviously, Storytime special number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16. Oh my goodness. 16 episodes already of the Storytime special. I'll be in for number 17. Hey, that's my age. We'll see you guys next week for the Storytime special, and make sure to tune in to the next episode of Top of the Standards. Peace.